You're watching FAnews, and we are talking to Inge Beale, who is the CEO of Lloyd's of London. Inge, very, very warm welcome to your first business trip to South Africa, apparently.
It is indeed, although I am married to a South African, so I have been here for personal reasons and had some wonderful vacations, but indeed my first business trip.
Your talk was very well received, just looking at the tweets and looking at the level of audience engagement in the hall. What are some of the challenges that Lloyd's of London sees that are particular to the South African markets that international companies are looking at?
Well, you just think about technology as one thing. There are many opportunities here, but I just focus on the technology piece and how you're using technology all over the place. But of course, what that leads to is the potential for cyber attacks. Now, these intangible risks like cyber hacks and things like that are right in Lloyd's sweet spot. We love to do innovative new stuff, and we think there's lots that Lloyd's can contribute to that, just that piece alone here in South Africa.
You're talking about South Africa needing to be strong in order for Africa to grow. Are companies in South Africa aware of this? Is government aware of the need and the particular level of the need for South Africa to be strong?
Oh, I think so. And in fact, I was fortunate enough to be in Davos, the World Economic Forum, and attended the session on South Africa, where your president was there. And they talked very much about that, the need to be an important base to show economic growth. But also what's great from the outside world, if I think, coming from Europe, is it's seen as having a professional, transparent regulatory framework, which for an insurer particularly is a very inviting environment.
Now, looking at insurance and the way it can help out or help protect people, you mentioned Japan and how only 30% of their market was insured during their devastating earthquake and tsunami, and how the majority of their rebuild had to be funded by taxpayers' money. By contrast, Christchurch in New Zealand, 75% of that market was protected by insurance, and then the rest was taken out by government support, so the taxpayer never had to really put the money in their pockets. Can you just discuss the need for that in South Africa, and how if a big economic event or a big catastrophe has to happen in South Africa, that can help?
Yeah, so insurance, non-life insurance penetration is still low here compared with the world average, about 65% of the world average. So there's still a need we see there's a protection gap. So you've got some underinsurance here. And it really is, and you can go to all sorts of places and see where disaster has struck, where there's been very, very low insurance penetration and it hasn't helped. Haiti is a classic example. Years and years and years after their disaster, the country is still trying to rebuild itself. Insurance can help in all ways to support that rebuilding of countries and economies.
Just finally, looking at you or Lloyd's opening doors to new talents, we've recently launched the Insurance Apprentice. We are going into the second season. Thank you very much for mentioning it in your talk. What can programs like that help with in terms of skills developments?
Yeah, because basically we're seeing that a lot of the graduates have insurance way down on their list of favoured careers. So we've got to do a better job of selling the sector, selling what we do and the value we provide to society at large. And I think by highlighting your insurance apprentice, by doing the work that we're trying to do at Lloyd's, we've launched an apprentice scheme. We're trying to go to a different part of the sector, the population doesn't really think about joining insurance, because that's where we're going to get creative new ideas coming from, which is going to be so important for the insurance future.
Inge Beale from Lloyd's of London, thank you very much for your time and safe journeys back to London.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.